This is Egypt, a country we are all so proud of, a country of love, a country of beauty. But below the surface is an Egypt that you don't get to see. An Egypt scarred by damages of poverty. Poverty is all around us, but right here in Upper Egypt, the problem is much bigger than you may think. The National Statistics Agency reports that approximately 33% of Egyptians live below the poverty line, a number that has increased 7% in the last 5 years alone. These are our own people, yet we are doing nothing to help them. These are people living in complete isolation and powerlessness. It is time for action, but not simply promising to act, but actually standing up for a cause. You may be asking, how bad is it? Well, let me break it down for you. The issue is far closer to you than you may imagine. These are people who are unable to live adequate lifestyles or even procure basic necessities. Again, these are your own people. These are our people. People who are forced to live in deleterious circumstances, and even a little bit of care in the smallest part of your heart can make the biggest difference. So once again, let me reiterate how bad the situation really is. 7 of the 10 poorest governors in Egypt are located in Upper Egypt. These include Asyut, Suhag, Luqsor, Aswan, New Valley, Minya, and Kina. The most poverty-stricken governorate in Upper Egypt is Asyut, where the poverty rate surpasses 66%. One of the main issues causing poverty in these areas is children not receiving an adequate education. Around 13% of dropouts range from ages 6 to 20 years old. This can be caused by many things, like the influence of family that needs financial help, the child's desire to not wanting to go to school, or even the family's desire. The issue of education relates to poverty as it further hinders social progression and the family's ability to procure employment. Of the 7 governors facing extreme poverty in Upper Egypt, Minya, ranked 4th, continues to face issues in more than one form. These forms include the city's red shabby brick buildings that haven't been attended to in years. Approximately 70% of the city remains with no sewage system because plans of constructing it have been left on hold since 1997. That's over 20 years of citizens unable to procure basic sanitation. The main issue of poverty in Upper Egypt exists in rural areas near mountains and cliffs. For example, the Isbet Mohammed Ibrahim village in Maghagha, north of Minya, contains many buildings with a lack of service and red bricks, where most houses have a wooden roof poorly installed. Humans share their houses with rubble and garbage and small animals like mice and rats and lizards. There are many reasons concerning the specific hardship faced by people within the upper area region. The main reason is believed to be a matter of geography. The bounded availability of agricultural lands, as well as the restricted landscape, has led to both economic recession and overpopulation, which engenders several issues in Upper Egypt. These two issues are related in the sense that many inhabitants in Upper Egypt are employed in agricultural sectors. So when land is intruded to meet the demands of overpopulation, a huge amount of the inhabitants end up unemployed because of restricted landscape and agricultural lands, which leads to even water scarcity and more poverty. Furthermore, many issues facing the region include marginalization, lack of education, water scarcity, and even limited sewage. In specific, many communities and rural villages in Upper Egypt do not even have drinking water and schools, undoubtedly hampering development in the Upper Egypt region, where not only are they poor, but they're unable to receive proper education. The most impoverished 1,000 villages in all of Egypt are located in rural areas in Upper Egypt, which comes to show how bad the situation really is there. There are approximately 60% of Egyptians in Upper Egypt living below the poverty line, meaning they earn less than $1.25 a day. And even in 47 villages in Upper Egypt, between 80 to even 100% of the people living live below the poverty line. You see women on the streets and children playing in mud. You see men being forced out of their jobs. You drive along roads of dirt and mud. yet decide to turn a blind eye to the reality they face. It is time to act. It is time to play a role in helping underprivileged people and acknowledging the unseen truth of rural Egyptian communities. So, what can you do? Start supporting NGOs like Al Urman and Rai Masr for Development in their mission to provide resources and commodities to impoverished citizens in rural areas. Donate, raise awareness, or even go out and volunteer. Acknowledge that this is a big issue in Egypt, and the more we care, the better it will be. Spread this message and let's collectively take a huge step towards development. Let's build an Egypt that we are even more proud of, an Egypt where issues like these no longer need to exist, an Egypt where the smallest donation can make the biggest difference. It's time to act.